my name is Tom Moore. I'm the Director of Tennis at Travis Point Country Club. And this week's newsletter, we're going to talk about leg drive and the hip pop when hitting a forehand ground stroke. Okay, so when I'm getting ready to hit the ground stroke, I want to turn and get into my number one position and try to get my weight on the back foot before my opponent's ball lands on my side of the court. Okay, so I turn and get set. When the ball lands on my side of the court, my downswing happens. At the bottom of the downswing, I'm going to pop my hip and straighten my leg like this. The racket then comes through and I finish the stroke, okay? And so I get set, turn, the bottom of the downswing, I pop the hip, the leg drive happens, my racket comes through, and I make the hit. So the real question is, why do I do that, and what does it do for me, okay? I do it because, one is, with the weight on my back foot, I'm very stable, okay? And the leg drive gives me additional power. Not only power, but it makes my ball heavier. If you've ever faced an opponent who hit a heavy ball, if you hit your shot and the ball, let's say, wasn't in the center of your racket, sometimes somebody with a heavy ball, when it hits your racket, almost feels like your racket's being pushed back. That's a heavy ball. Heaviness comes from utilizing this leg drive, popping the hip, letting the racket come through after the hip pop to finish the shot, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate here using the ball machine. You'll get a look at me from straight ahead so you can see the hip pop, and then from the side angle as well. So here we go. Get that, pop the hip, make the shot. Get set, pop the hip, make the shot. Get set, pop the hip, the racket comes through. Get set, pop the hip, the racket comes through. Get set, pop the hip, and the racket comes through again. Okay? Okay, now from the side. Okay, now we're going to do it with a side angle. Hopefully this gives you a good look at the hip pop and the leg drive happening. Let's try it again with the ball machine. Okay, get into my one, pop the hip, the racket comes through. Get into my one, pop the hip, and the racket comes through. One, pop the hip, and the racket comes through again. Okay. So those are some examples of utilizing leg drive and popping the hip to give my ball heaviness that will make it hard for your opponent to control. I hope you like this lesson. We'll see you next week. Thanks.